Saturday, 10th of January 2026 at 2:31 p.m. here in Amsterdam, North Holland, the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Welcome once again to our cosmic journey. It is your Dev and Design podcast featuring two very cold boys trying to brave the winters here in the Netherlands. I am your very cold boy designer, Jake. He is your very cold boy, the engineer, Trey. Hello, Trey.
Hello, cold boy Jake.
Hello, cold boy Trey. It's freezing out here. Not to the point where the canals have frozen as far as we can tell.
At least this canal hasn't.
Yeah.
This one is still moving.
But that's the thing. Like, current is the enemy of ice. That's just what I've learned.
Yeah.
And
But it is currently -2 Celsius out there.
Wow. And it feels much, much worse than that. And I took Doc for a walk this morning, and I will tell you that Trey should have been very thankful that I did so, because
because I get to stay inside and be warm.
I guess the thing is that there is the biting cold of, that hits your face and your soul. And then there's the biting cold of Trey's words about how cold he is. And I was very happy to not have to suffer any of that. But you know what? Doc and I, we did just fine.
I'm good at sharing my emotions.
Yeah, apparently. Today's episode is called Boundaries and Entries, which, now that I say it out loud, doesn't sound entirely great. We will be showing the full login experience. You had seen the login experience last time, about 5 episodes ago, right up there. We will show you some welcome emails. Yes, I am still doing HTML emails, and yes, it is as painful as possible, as imagined, but there are successes to be celebrated there.
Yeah.
And we're very excited to introduce that we have put in both the Ptolemaic and Chaldean terms. The Ptolemaic terms according to Lilly, of course, because, hey, he's the boss. But before we get to all that, of course, let's start with the check-in question. Mr. Henry, are you ready for this?
I am so ready.
It's a fun one.
Okay.
So I hope you're ready.
Here.
So we're doing login, and we would be remiss not to think of like two-factor authentication with login. And so my question to you, Mr. Henry, is what's your personal two-factor authentication to know that something is a good idea? So for example, a two-factor authentication could be I sleep on it one night, or I text a friend, or I meditate on it, or any of those. So for you, Mr. Henry, what is your personal two-factor authentication to log in to doing something?
There's two things that might happen with me. One is that I may forget the idea, and then
that's a very good stopgap that happens with your brain, which is like, because your brain is Swiss cheese, then it just falls through one of the holes.
Yeah, exactly, and then gone. But if it does happen to come back around, because it's a good idea, and then it like reoccurs to me, then I'm like, oh yeah, there was that thing. And then it's sort of like happened twice, and once it happens twice, then it kind of like sticks. So that's like one sort of, two-factor auth. But then the other one is just like, oh, I had this good idea, run it by Jake. Because as the viewer will know, Jake has Saturn in the first in Virgo, and is discerning.
Yes. This is true. I'm still waiting for a reaction. That's not going to happen. This is true. I think for me, my two-factor authentication is somewhere. Okay, I'll talk about old Jake and new Jake. Old Jake, who was purely analytical and purely Saturn Virgo, is like the pros and cons list and overthinking these things and trying to like get all of the data into the pool as much as possible in order to make the most rational, data-filled decision that you can. That's old Jake. New Jake is between two things. One, new Jake asks himself, is this irreversible? And if the answer is yes, then he just does it. Good on new Jake for just like, it's irreversible. We can just do it. It's fine.
Irreversible or reversible?
Sorry, it's reversible.
Okay.
So we're going to do it. Irreversible tattoos, for example, has taken a long time for me, because tattoos to me, while in principle reversible, are for the most part irreversible.
Yeah, they're not really. Like, have you seen like removed tattoos?
Yes, because you can kind of see where it was removed.
Yeah,
right?
or you have to tattoo over it with something else.
Exactly. So there's that. But if it is something that is monumental, the last time that we had a monumental thing that we had done was buying a house. And in doing so,
and moving to the Netherlands, all of which
and moving to the Netherlands, but that
within this very narrow window.
But honestly, the moving to the Netherlands went very quickly for us because we knew we wanted to come back to Europe. But buying the house, we had to pause for a second. And my two-factor authentication for that was to ask Trey I mean, I didn't request it formally, but I waited for Trey to do a magical act in order to understand if it was prudent and wise. And while I did not contract, like even in informally, like contract Trey out for that, I guess I was consulting Trey as well. So that Trey consults me when it's about rationality and kind of the Saturn kind of structuredness of Virgo. And I asked Trey when it's like, give me the kind of water sign emotional take on all of this.
Yep.
And the one for the house was great because you did 2 geomantic charts, of which one of them came up with a word that I was waiting to hear this word. So there was like a weird thing that happened with like, I was waiting to hear a word and the word came up. Okay. Coincidence? Probably. But the second one was that you had the 3 mothers in the chart, right? For the geometric chart.
Yeah, one of the charts had Albus as the first 3 mothers.
And the first 3 mothers was Albus, Albus, Albus. And if you know anything about the Amsterdam city flag, it is 3 X's on it. So the idea that it's like Albus, 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 and that there's 3 X's, again.
Which the bottom of the Albus figure is, that is the X.
Is the X. I didn't even think about that. So like, is it coincidence? Yeah, maybe. But you know what? We are patterned individuals and patterned creatures, and we love seeing stuff in patterns.
And we don't have enough time in this video to go over what actually could possibly be coincidence.
Actually, Mr. Henry had a whole discussion about that with randomness. Look at that video up there, because I actually know where that video is. So I'm going to put it into this video.
Yes, with the lovely Reverend Eric.
With the lovely Reverend Eric, who you saw in that episode up there, Reverend Eric. Yeah. All right, great. We've referenced 3 episodes. Good check-in, everybody.
Yeah.
Good check-in.
Wait, isn't that the max of like, don't they have like a max of like videos you can reference?
Hey, you know what? One way to find out, just you keep referencing videos and I'll keep pointing and we'll figure it out.
Oh no, it's you can't reference the same video twice.
You can't reference the same video twice because that is boring. So keep referencing new videos.
Good job, YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Preventing us from being boring.
Mr. Henry, do you want to talk a little bit about login and the whole experience? Like, is there anything you want to set up first?
No,
just do it.
Just
God,
do it.
no. I'm just gonna go to your screen. Here we are. No balloon juice.
No balloon juice. I mean, we kind of covered the balloon juice last, I think,
episode 115, which I already referenced, so I'm not going to point up there because I can't do it twice.
Yeah, exactly. But we showed how you can sign up and you get a really awesome flying heart letters background thing. We showed all of that stuff. So there's a full process now where you can.
That was a different episode. Feel free to look up there at the flying heart episode. There you go.
Yeah. So the point though is that you can go through the full cycle of you can sign up. Well, you can do this in the product. It's not going to be available to customers for quite some time still, but you can sign up, you can validate your account, and then you can now, as of this cycle, log in via the app. So we're in the app, we're on the settings page. I can click a login button. I can put I already created an account, so I'm just putting in my credentials here, and voila, I have logged in. What does this do at this point? Absolutely nothing.
It does nothing.
It knows that you're logged in, and it's validating that you have a list of entitlements. Those entitlements are currently not used for anything, but they will be very soon. There's a whole big entitlements thing that Jake and I need to go over. And you can, of course, log out. And yeah, so it's just the basic plumbing essentially for being able to authenticate, which is a very important step for us in being able to give you features like sync and allow you to pay for the product and get certain features once you pay.
And we all know that the most important part of you paying is that you provide us the money so that we can continue making things. Making the astrology for you. We appreciate that, future you.
Yes.
for thinking about that as part of this.
Yes.
So also in this login, sign up, all of that, you remember the flying envelopes, there is the idea of how you can onboard somebody into the product. And we do that through a welcome mail. I spent a lot of time writing the welcome mail, but the more exciting part of all of this is not the writing behind the welcome mail, but rather I fixed a problem that we had talked about a couple of episodes ago that I think we can show you the fix for that. So if you remember, Mr. Henry, we had talked about the problems with emails, specifically HTML in emails. More specifically, the HTML of emails in dark mode, even more specifically, the HTML in dark mode emails for bad email clients.
Yes.
And unfortunately, Fastmail, who is a great company, makes a bad email client. Fun fact about that, though, I have opened up a ticket telling them that my dark mode emails look like crap, not only mine, but other people's. And I submitted a bunch of them, and hopefully they're going to fix it. We'll see.
They're a really good team, and they are definitely paying attention. So
They're paying attention. And, they understand. They understand that everyone's got sensitivity. So you remember, we're like, oh, look at, it does this weird, light border. It looks like I'm highlighting this text. I'm not highlighting this text. This is just the way in which the dark mode amps up certain contrast of things in order to make it more readable, but actually it makes it less readable. And while it's kind of light on the green buttons, on the purple buttons, it was really bad, if you remember. So this was, as you can see, we talked about this 5 weeks ago or so. And I was like, well, what are we going to do about this? What are we going to do about this? And I just told Trey in the episode, I just said, look, forget it. We're not going to fix it because there's no way to fix it.
And I noticed, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
And I noticed that I got an email. I forget who it was from, but it was like a verify your account or something.
Yes.
And it was this really beautiful message.
And you know why it was really beautiful?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the whole thing was one image.
The whole thing is one image, which you can do, but the reason why you don't do that is because it hampers readability. The email reader can't read all of that stuff. It can't do previews of the text in the...
And you can only have one call to action on there.
Yeah, and it sucks, right? Because the whole thing is one big image. And so I got to the welcome emails, and I really like the tone of this. The images are all placeholder, so they're created with ChatGPT just to do placeholder things. But you look at the button, and you see now that the button is rounded, and it looks even more awful. And I was like, this stinks. This stinks. It already changed this border around the thing to be way lighter than it needs to be. But then this thing down here just looks so awful. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. As it turns out, there is. So I figured out how to do buttons, not properly, but properly for the problematic clients. And so I checked all of the problematic email clients that I know and love, and I checked against the buttons, and now the buttons look good, and also they glow, because I was like, well, you can bring a little bit of glow to this. And I'm not going to show you this because I have to show you my emails. And again, I don't want to blur things out because I already have enough to do in this episode with all the episodes I need to add in for the things that I pointed at.
Oh, that's true.
But when in certain email clients, like the Mac desktop client, when you hover over this button, it lights up, it kind of glows even more. It looks so good. And so having something that looks good, but also has the right tone. So let's read this email together. Thanks for supporting professional astrology software that cares about clarity over clutter. We built it to help you find the insights that matter without the friction, the chaos, or the endless wrestling that some tools seem weirdly committed to. We hope you love what you're building, what we are building. And the reason, of course, that I'm like that is because you all know my tone, and I want to make sure that this is the tone, right? It's a little bit cheeky, a little bit silly. That's what Cosmic's all about. But all in all, a very professional but cheeky take at not astrology, take at the tool astrology landscape that it's in right now.
No, I think it looks great. I am so happy about that, and I think that the care that you put into those kinds of things really makes such a huge difference. Because when you get a confirmation email and it's from some big well-known company, and then you look at that email and you're like, this is garbage. What? How do they allow this to happen?
Yeah. I think one of my least favorite things in emails that are sent from companies is that the email address is noreply@company.com, and then the name on it is do not reply.
Yeah.
So it's already off the bat. It's like, do not talk to us. Yeah. We don't want to hear you. Whatever. And they're like, welcome. But you're like, you started with, from don't contact me.
Yeah.
And so we don't do that at all. Our thing is it's it will be from Cosmic Support. So it will say Cosmic Support, and it's support at cosmic.plumbing. And I promise you, even 10 years from now, if this is not true, write me, Jake at cosmic.plumbing, write me an email and say, you promised us this. Every email that Cosmic sends you, you can reply to, and a human being will look at the thing and maybe respond to you if necessary. But like any way that you want to contact us, we will listen to it. I promise you, because it is annoying when companies are like, you can only contact us through one channel in one way, and it's got to be through this website, and you have to talk to an AI bot first. Like, oh, it's awful.
Yeah, well, the real crime, though, is that companies that are small, or what we call SMBs, like small to medium-sized businesses,
Do this.
Do all of this stuff.
Because
And
they
it's-
want to act big.
Because they want to look like they're, yeah, exactly. Like they want to look like they're a big corp or something like that. And it's like,
horrible.
no, like big
This is your
corps have
chance.
to do this because they literally cannot afford to address every single person.
Yeah.
Like if you're a small to medium-sized business, your only core value is being able to give that white glove service, you know? Like,
I suspect that even if a big company stops using a no reply email and instead uses this to go to a support system, that the pain of what they have to take in for ingesting in these emails would be far outweighed by actually helping people out with their problems, and that the benefit of it is far outweighed by the pain that you would have to take.
yeah,
But
probably. I mean, I don't know.
hey, I'm not some, genius product person that creates all the processes, mechanisms, and stage gates, so I don't know about all of this. Then anything, let's talk a little bit about like the small little UI thing that we added, but I think it's going to be a really great little thing that not only do we do Egyptian terms, but we will also be doing Chaldean terms.
I'm like, were we forgetting something to
Yes, Chaldean terms, and we'll be doing Ptolemaic terms according to the boss, Lilly. So do you want to just show that, Mr. Henry, in the software? Hold on, we have to go to your screen. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, so if we go into settings, we showed asteroids last time, and I'm just pulling up that same perspective. But if you scroll down a little bit, you can see that we now have a dignity section and a bounds dropdown. The options are Ptolemaic, Lilly, which is the Lilly.
The Lilly take on
The Lilly take on Ptolemaic.
Yes.
We explicitly calling that one out because there's others that may come down the road. Egyptian, which is what we were using by default before, and Chaldean, which you can now select. And so you can select whichever.
If you could see, so you can see that the things are changing there. You can't see the drop down because of just the way in which we share the screen here. But you can change that drop down. That changes on the perspective. Then when you go to your chart, you will get the right bound scheme. And then also, Mr. Henry and I were talking a little bit about how we can extend that further to make that even more explicit in the software. So there's going to be even more great UI things that might come about from this.
Yeah, I'll just show a chart as well. So that,
Okay, sorry, I was just wrapping up while you're like, I'll show a chart though.
Yeah, you kind of cut me off there.
That's fine. That's fine. That happens.
Okay, so showing a chart here, I could select a perspective. I'll select the asteroids perspective. And then if I come in here, you can see that the bound lord currently is Mercury. It may actually end up being the same bound lord.
We'll find out
if I change it, but no, it's close to 26, so I think it will actually change. So we come here, which this one should be using Egyptian. Yeah, and there you go. Bound lord is now Mars.
Perfect.
So yeah, so it's actually wired up and
So
it works.
Okay, and I won't wrap it up again because I already wrapped it up and interrupted you the first time. So we'll go to this. Mr. Henry, what should the good viewer do with the rest of their Saturday?
Stay warm
Stay warm.
if you're in a place that's cold.
Yeah, or if you're in a warm place, stay as warm as you are. Or get warmer. Who knows?
Who knows?
Get some ice cream. I'm jealous.
Yeah. Get to an ideal temperature.
Get to an ideal temperature and then bring yourself back down with some ice cream. Be well. Take care. Have yourself a lovely Saturday. We're going to see you next week. We hope to see you also on whatever day you watch this video. Until then, goodbye.
Bye.